Hello guys, iDyslexichem here, and today I had some really great yogurt. It was peach flavored Yoplait. I highly recommend it. Seriously, it's delicious. But anyway, I have a lot to talk about today, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. So, Crysis 3 is out, and it is awesome. There's the gameplay you're currently seeing in the background, and I gotta say, it did live up to my expectations quite a bit. I played a lot of the beta. I did make a video on the beta, and I gotta say, this is a lot of fun. I'm real impressed by the way the map design, multiplayer, the whole, it's well put together. The weapons are awesome. The game plays wonderfully. It looks great, obviously, because it's Crysis. Right now, you're seeing me use the Predator bow, new weapon in the game. Obviously, it's pretty cool. I'm playing Crash Site, but yeah. So, in terms of game modes, probably the least impressive part about the game is the game modes. I would have to say, it they could use a bit a bit more variety in them, I think, because a lot of the objective game modes are exactly the same, because you either get King of the Hill or you get like a domination game mode, or you get a game mode where you have to go in and capture a bunch of things that are supposed to be important to you. My favorite personally is Crash Site, which is the King of the Hill mode, because I'm a huge King of the Hill guy. I like the way it moves, keeps the battle moving around the battlefield, and overall just, it has good flow to it, nice pacing. Fast-paced, though. I mean, if you don't like fast-paced stuff, you won't like it, but, it also comes with Team Deathmatch and Deathmatch, your standard stuff. Team Deathmatch, it's fun. I mean, I don't think that's really the strength of the game. I like to have objectives to go after, especially in a game like this where, you're jumping around like crazy. So, but if Team Deathmatch is your kind of thing, or Deathmatch, which is just free-for-all, then, more power to you. And then there's the Hunter mode, which, I talked about in my video about the beta, and, again, it's more of the same. It's pretty much exactly like the beta, It's it's a lot of fun, but it's not a long period of fun, because you're not going to play that for hours. You're just not, because it does get a little bit repetitive. But overall, I am impressed by the multiplayer. I am currently playing the single player, which it's a lot of fun. Especially in comparison to Crysis 2, which Crysis 2 I was not a big fan of it. However, Crysis 3's campaign, it's a lot more sandbox. It's a lot more, you can approach situations the way you want to, and the story is definitely a lot more personal, definitely a lot cooler, in my opinion at least. I mean, the characters are a lot, there's a lot more entertainment there. The dialogue's a lot more interesting. I found myself laughing at a few things the Prophet says in the game, so that was cool to me. So, moving on from that, the PlayStation 4 was announced yesterday. I don't know when they're going to stop calling it the PlayStation. I think they could come up with a little more original name than that, but nonetheless, it is a big deal in gaming, considering that probably 90% of video games that are played are currently played on the console. Now, I watched some of the press conference that they held about the console. I mean, I was surprisingly, I was a little excited about it. I was like, wow, this thing has potential. I mean, they brought out like a new controller. I think it looks a lot better. I wasn't a big fan of the PlayStation 3 controller when I did play console a lot, and I still do play console a bit, but I did play console a lot, a few years ago. I'm an Xbox 360 guy for sure. I love that controller. It's awesome. Unfortunately, I'm not impressed right now by what Microsoft is doing with their console, and if they continue to do what they're doing with the 360 on their next one that they will inevitably announce soon, most likely, I will not be a customer of that. I'm not. Yeah, it's just not my thing. I don't like the whole Connect, let's have family stuff, and Oh man, I want to play Halo and I want to play Gears of War, and those games are flopping hard right now. In any case, PlayStation 4. Yeah. The thing the thing that I noticed about it that I really did like about their conference last night was that they focused a lot on games. They said, "Here, look, this is the console. It is powerful. It's going to be awesome. Here are some great games that are going to be on it." That's what I like. That's what I want to see. If I'm going to buy something, I want to know what I'm going to get from it. And that overall impression was really positive. Now that PlayStation Move demo they did, I mean, I guess technologically it was impressive, but from a standpoint of a more hardcore gamer who wants to play shooting games, who wants to play, adventure games and RPG games that are going to suck my time away, I don't want to play PlayStation Move games. That's just motion controls not my thing. I just want to play good games. But I think the majority of the presentation was really impressive and really highlighted that fact that the PlayStation 4 is going to be about the games. And it and a lot of things they're doing, interestingly enough, was sort of trying to streamline games to more developers. Say, we'll support indie developers. It'll be cheap to release indie games on, our console. We're not going to charge you $1 million to release your game. So that's impressive to me. When I see that, I think they're trying to go a lot along the lines of PC. What PC is doing currently with Steam Greenlight, all that stuff. It's easy to publish games on the PC, which is why a lot of indie games come out for them. With that being said, if Microsoft can't find a way to sort of counter that, I don't think it's going to go well for them. I mean, if they just come along with, hey, look at this, we got Kinect and stuff. See, look, it's motion control, revolutionary, right? I'm not going to be impressed. I want to see games, I want to see new exclusives, I want to see new ideas that are cool and that I am interested in, and that gamers like me are going to be interested in. So, PlayStation 4 looks interesting, I mean, obviously it's going to be very expensive. uh, I'm predicting at least $500, unfortunately, which is expected. I mean, can't really say anything about that, considering I paid, $1,000 for my gaming PC. So, I mean, obviously it's still cheaper than PC, but it's an expensive purchase. So, hopefully they'll make it worthwhile for that. They showed off Bungie's new game, Destiny, which interested me. I've been a huge, fan of Bungie's games for a while. I love, the original Halo trilogy. I do play Halo 4 quite a bit, actually. Probably one of my favorite games on the console right now. But, huge fan of Bungie. So their next game looks awesome to me. I mean, especially in the fact that it's going to be on multi-platform. Sadly not on the PC, unfortunately, but multi-platform, that's good for them. But so that was I was pretty excited. I was interested. Now the whole they announced some Final Fantasy game or whatever. Not so interesting. That's because I'm not a big fan of Japanese games as a whole, really, at all. But I mean, I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll somehow find a way to make it $400. Who knows? I mean, hopefully they'll be competitive and it won't be, like PlayStation 3, which was what, $600 when it first came out. That was ridiculous. Like, nobody can afford that. That's ridiculous for a console. I mean, the idea behind consoles is supposed to be cheap, so hopefully they can pull that off. I'm very intrigued to see what they do with it. But yeah. So that about wraps it up. If you haven't picked up Crysis 3, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It'll make you feel like a super soldier and jump around, and you can stomp people and use a bow and turn invisible, and it's awesome. So campaign's great, multiplayer's great. I highly recommend it. But anyway, that about wraps things up. Oh, you died. You died a horrible death. Anyway, so yeah. that about wraps things up. Let me know what you guys think about the PlayStation 4, about Crysis 3. What do you guys think the next Xbox is going to be like? What do you think Microsoft's going to do? I'm predicting that, by E3 that it'll be announced, but that's just my opinion anyway. Yeah, see you guys later.